So on an interview that the president recently did, he said, I think what he's doing is a mistake. I don't agree with his approach, talking about Netanyahu. Can you clarify what is the mistake?
So we've talked about how the president spoke to Prime Minister Netanyahu just last week. They had a 30-minute conversation. It was direct. They have known each other for some time. They've spoken over more than a dozen times since October 7th, the tragic attack that we've seen from Hamas, a terrorist organization. And they said October 7th, they said October 7th would be something that they want to see over and over again. So they've had those conversations. Look, the president has been very clear. I started out this briefing talking about how humanitarian aid has increased, and that's because of the conversation that the president had with the prime minister. That's important. We need to make sure that civilians are protected. We need to make sure that humanitarian aid workers are protected. The president has said that. That is what our focus is going to continue to be, as well as making sure that this hostage deal gets done, working around the clock to get that completed so we can get hostages home to their loved ones. The president has always been very honest and direct with leaders, including the prime minister.
So just one more quick one. Does the president believe Netanyahu's approach, as you sort of just laid out there, is to blame for the famine that we are now seeing in Gaza?
What I will say is that is not what the president is saying. The president has been very clear that more needs to be done to protect innocent civilians. More work needs to be done to make sure that humanitarian aid workers who are doing incredible work, who are being incredibly brave, are protected. And so that is what we're speaking to. And unfortunately, we've seen more than 200 of humanitarian aid workers die. And that is something we do not want to continue to see. That's why the president had this conversation with the prime minister last week, a 30-minute direct conversation with the prime minister on what needs to be done to continue to protect innocent civilians. That's why we're having conversation about that Rafah operations, right? And our two sides are committed to moving forward with those conversations. We've seen some progress. We're going to continue to have those conversations, and Israel has made commitments. The prime minister is made a commitment to the president. We've seen an uptick of trucks, more than 1,000 over the last 3 days. That commitment is continuing. We want to see more. That's good progress.